Hi, this is Santos. Finally, welcome back to Forge of Vampires. I'm sorry that I haven't posted anything in the last 3 weeks. The thing is that college has been a wonderful, and especially with the current world situation, being in college has never been easier. But anyway, let's get back to Forge of Vampires. So today it is episode 2 of the spoiler series that I've begun in this channel. The thing is, I believe that the last time I did this, it was about 3 months ago. Now I feel like it has been enough time and that enough things have been posted that it is worth it for me to do a second episode. So the first thing that I'm going to look in here is Forge Ball of 2021, which is going to be the next event after the winter event, which is about to start in Forge of Empires. I think it's about December 3rd or something. So in less than a week we'll have the winter event, which I've already covered. As for the forgeable rewards, first you have your usual 3 portraits, and the buildings, basically it is a main building, 5x3, it's called a terracotta vineyard with 8 levels, and it also has some smaller 5x2 linkable buildings. Even though there are 2 different styles here, I feel like there'll still only be 4 different types, and usually within those 4 types you have a force point option, a goods option, maybe a military one for your attacking army, and a military one for your defending army, but we'll only really know once this is released on beta server. As for the main building itself, because 5x3 it's not a small size, it is also expected for it to have a good amount of force points, goods, and maybe some military boosts for your attacking army, whether it is attacking or defense. Finally, as for the mechanics, they say that it will be the same as last year's, in which basically you have a team that you spend footballs, which are the event currency, for them to move across the field. Once you hit, I think it's either 90 or 100 yards, you receive a main prize, of which some will be the upgrade for the main building. And every day you have coaches, which can improve the rewards that you gain. Also, there was one premium coach that had all of the features of the other coaches combined, and it was probably the only time when it was advisable for you to spend those 150 diamonds on that premium coach. This is because most of your event currency was spent in just one day. But I'll get onto more detail about that once the event is released on beta server. And not only do they have the next Forgeable event, they also have the one after that, which is the St. Patrick's Day event. This one was put into the game last year to replace Carnival event, I believe. And to be honest, it was probably one of the most confusing events we've ever had. It was basically an idle game, and within that idle game you'd farm a currency from 1,000 to 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000 and 1,000,000,000,000 and so on. It's kind of crazy. And after many layers of rewards and resetting, because you then play that idle game over and over again, you would build a set of 5 buildings up to level 2, which honestly wasn't that worth it for you to build it. However, this year's main reward is a 5x4 10 level simple building. Now, just like any recent event building, is also expected to have, force points goods, and also some military bonus maybe, or random units that it gives you every day, which is better than last year's. And of course your standard 3 portraits. As for the PvP arena, which they tried to put into the game, but it was kind of a failure, at least the first time. With the second one, they have new reward system, which honestly which is pretty much the same as Guild Battlegrounds League system. So you have from Copper all the way up to Diamond. The only difference is that they have an extra 6th league, which is called the Crystal one. And they also have new ranking systems. Well, they have the standard guild and global ranking, but they also have age ranking, which is good. This implies that they will now separate fights by ages, which was actually the main problem with the previous arena. Basically, every player of every age could fight between each other, which meant that the higher ages would pretty much always win. And then you also have world ranking, which I honestly don't know what it means. It might be a ranking across all the different worlds of one country. If it is, it's very interesting. But the main thing to take away here is that new rankings usually mean new rewards. As for the mechanics, we'll have to wait and see, because this second take on the PvP arena is probably going to change it a lot. But they think that this placeholder, this green one here, represents a progress bar, and you'll also may be able to refresh your opponents. This implies that you'll have a certain amount of opponents every day that you can fight, or at least that you'll be able to choose between a set of opponents every time that you fight. On the short note, we also have these three cards, with the left one being the front, and you have two different backs, either a silver or a gold back. They think it might be associated with the soccer event or maybe the PvP tower. I don't really know. We'll have to wait for the beta server. As for this topic, which is called What Comes After the Asteroid Belt, which is basically related with Space Age Venus, it has been up on this page for like 10 months now, and there haven't been any real spoilers. The only thing they show is this image here, which obviously just tells you that we'll have Space Age Venus, but nothing else. The thing is that the last ages have been released every year between like March and May, and we also expect the same for Space Age Venus, which also means that as for spoilers, they'll only really become available by late January or around that time. And finally, you might already have noticed this, but the sidebar has been changed a little bit. So basically, if it is an offer of diamonds usually, it will have this red square around it. And if it is a feature from a grid building, then you have this green square telling you that you can still use them. So if I hop onto my city here, you can see that the supply options are green, that I still have 8 more usage here for one grid building and 42 for another. But anyway, that was it for the second episode of the spoiler series in my channel. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time.